What's up, my friend, and welcome to the Ryan Coral Letter. This is number 11. Okay, I had just finished a pretty emotional few minutes on a stage, and as I turned to walk down the stairs, I saw him out of the corner of my eye. Sean Astin stood up from his table, unannounced, and was walking toward the stage. If you don't recognize the name, you definitely know the characters. Samwise in Lord of the Rings, Mikey Walsh in the Goonies, Rudy, also Bob in Stranger Things. This guy, the ultimate underdog roles. The guys who weren't supposed to be there, but they showed up anyway and changed everything. He meets me at the bottom of the stairs with a big smile on his face, wraps me in a big bear hug, and says, "You are awesome." I'm gonna be honest, I almost lost it right there. Let me back up. This past weekend, I was awarded the Rochester Christian University Alumnus of the Year, which still feels surreal to say. I started at that school in 1998, and it was called Rochester College back in the 1900s. But before that, I had spent a year and a half fumbling through community college and another local university, mostly just trying to figure out what I was doing with my life. I didn't grow up going to church. I didn't know much about faith. I didn't come from money. But something was shifting in me. I had started believing in something bigger than just me and the plans that I had. I started to feel like God had a vision for my life that was a lot bigger than the one that I had been carrying around. And then people started making a way. Coach Garth Pleasant told me about the school, and he introduced me to his boss, President Johnson. President Johnson heard my story and believed in me before I believed in myself. He had a vision for the college, and he thought that I would be a great fit, and he made a way for this punk kid who had no business attending a private university to get a full scholarship. I still think about that. The donors who funded that scholarship, they didn't know me. The president of a college took interest in some kid that he barely met. And that decision changed the entire trajectory of my life. What I'm most grateful for is that the people at that school, they didn't just talk about faith, and they didn't just talk about community. They showed me what it looked like. I felt seen. I felt loved by professors and staff who treated me like I mattered. I built friendships that are still some of the strongest in my life. People that we moved to our small town to be near so that we could live in proximity, the way that we experienced in college, down the hall from each other, sharing meals like every day. We don't get to do that exactly the same way today, but we do get together often. We vacation together, and we take seriously the kind of community that we experienced in those years. That wasn't an accident. That was the fruit of people who committed their lives to a mission, and they invested in someone that they barely knew. Their belief changed everything for me. So when I got 3 minutes on that stage to accept the award, I didn't talk about my accomplishments. I talked about theirs. I looked out at the faculty and staff, and I told them that your work matters. You're changing lives, and I am living proof of that. My team at Tell Studios actually produced a video that played earlier in the evening, and it tells a little bit more about my story and the university's vision. I'm going to put a link to that video in the description if you want to see it. Mullet and everything, so it's a good time. I told them that my hope is that I would keep paying it forward, that I would help other underdogs find their way the same way that they found me. And then Sean Astin, Rudy, Samwise, Mikey, Bob stood up and hugged me. I mean, come on, you can't write that. And then later in the evening, Sean, the keynote speaker, he shared his own story of faith. He was processing it out loud, honestly, the way that you do when you're still in the middle of figuring it out. It was beautiful. The whole night was. But here's what I keep coming back to days later. Somebody made a way for me. Not because I had earned it, definitely not because I deserved it, but because they believed in something bigger than what was right in front of them and decided to invest in a kid who didn't have a way to get there on his own. And that's what I'm trying to do now. With the people that I coach, the entrepreneurs that I work with, the stories that I help people tell, I want to be the person who sees someone's potential before they see it themselves and makes a way. Because that's what was done for me, and I'm still living off the compound interest of that generosity. So I've been building something that I'm really excited about. It's a 90-day experience for entrepreneurs and founders who know that they need to be more visible but don't know where to start, or they've been putting it off because they're not confident on camera, they don't have a system, or they just haven't had anyone in their corner to push them. It's gonna be intimate, it's gonna be hands-on, and it includes something that I've never offered before, and I'm really excited about it. We're gonna spend a day at my studio where I put you on camera myself, the way that I've done for 20 years as a documentary filmmaker. So I'm still finalizing the details, but if it sounds like the kind of thing that you might be interested in, get on the wait list. I'm gonna put a link in the description, and I'll make sure that you are the first to hear when it's ready. Here's to paying it forward. Appreciate you being here. If you like this video, hit the subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment if you have any thoughts. I'll see you next week. And oh, one more thing. Goonies never say die, and neither do underdogs. See ya.